And joining me right now, the head coach of the New York Liberty, first-year head coach Walt Hopkins joining me. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Let's go back to draft night. What kind of a roller coaster, what kind of an exciting day was that for you?
You know, there was a lot. There was a lot to it because we had the side of it that we, outside of a couple of picks between 1 and 9 that we didn't expect, the end results, other than us getting Megan Walker, which was just, I think people are going to look back on and be blown away that happened. Other than that, though, the draft really ended up being exactly what we had slotted out in different mocks and things like that. Even though that the middle of 1 to 9 looked different, it still ended up being the same results that we were kind of hoping for. The biggest surprise was Megan. So that's one that I think I'm sure you're going to have some questions about because that was just a gift.
Yes, we will definitely get to Megan. Let's start with Sabrina, though, and just an embarrassment of riches there with her being able to do so many different things on the court. What will that process like meshing, everything that she does well with the style that you want to play?
Yeah, I think we really focused on putting the style together that fit her. I think coming out the gate, Sabrina's not going to have to do anything to fit in. This team is built for her skill set and for Lajia's skill set. They're really, and then the players, with Kia Nurse and Zowie, I mean, they all are built, Marine, Asia, they're built to play in this type of a system. And I think it's really going to kind of take away some of the limitations to what they're good at and add to the things that they do great, because they're just going to be in positions to succeed, and they're going to have shooting and people who can put the ball on the floor and defend multiple positions really everywhere you look. So I think for Sabrina, for instance, we were talking through our playbook just the other day, because the first thing Sabrina did after she got drafted was text me and want a username and password to start looking at the playbook and interacting with all that stuff. And she was like, Coach, is there some kind of a mistake? Like this is a lot of the stuff we ran in college. And I'm like, no, Sabrina, that's not a mistake. That's intentional. We're doing that because we want you to, one, those are good actions. And, and you were running that system because you met a good coach who knew how to maximize his people. But two, we're built similarly to Oregon. We are going to have 4s who shoot the ball. We're actually going to have 5s who shoot the ball, which is really exciting. And then, every other position creating spacing for her to kind of go into a pick and roll and find the person who the help leaves. And if nobody leaves, like Stanford tried to not leave her, and she had, 30 something or 28. And so that's the way that we're built really is going to suit her well.
What impresses you most about Sabrina's game when you watch her?
Yeah, I said this before. I think her competitiveness, her edge is really, Diana Kobe-like. It's, with The Last Dance airing, it's Michael-like. She's got a real focus on the things that she needs to do and that her teammates need to do. And she doesn't really care how it happens. It just needs to happen. And to see that drive behind somebody, you can see it in her eyes, you can see it in her actions, you can see it in the way that she approaches every game. She approaches the first quarter different. She approaches the third and fourth quarter. Like, she really is thinking and adjusting on the fly as well as anybody I've seen. And it all comes from, everything is informed by her desire to win. And she just does whatever's necessary to win. So some games she might have, 15 rebounds, 12 assists, and 8 points. Another game she might have 32 with 4 assists because that's what the defense was giving her. And so she capitalizes. So to have that versatility in her skill set offensively, she couldn't do that if teams were able to play off of her and say, go ahead, Sabrina, beat us with your 3-point shot. And she didn't have a 3-point shot. She wouldn't be able to do that. But you can't take anything away from Sabrina without giving her something, because she's capable of capitalizing on whatever you give her.
Naturally, as the number 1 overall pick, and to have a college career as decorated as she has, she's taken the headlines. But I loved hearing your excitement about what Megan Walker is going to bring to the table. What will she provide to the New York Liberty?
Yeah, at 9 and 10, I know that people probably know Megan. Fewer people probably know Jocelyn Willoughby. They are statistically very similar. If you go in and look at their numbers, very similar. They both shoot well over 40% from 3. Megan's at 45 on like 173 attempts or something, which is absurd. to go with the fact that she's not shooting a bunch of just set, standing there, wide open jumpers. She comes off the stagger screen. She shoots off the move. She can shoot them off the dribble. And she can put it on the floor. She's long. She can rebound, defend multiple positions. And obviously that UConn pedigree is without equal. I mean, they come out knowing how to play basketball. So she moves well without the ball, which is going to be really important for us as teams, are focused on pick and roll action on the weak side. She can either stay spaced and spot up to knock down threes, or she can cut if you lose sight of her, if you're worried about the stuff going on with Sabrina and Zowie on the other end. So I think she's a perfect fit in that regard. And Jocelyn is really the exact same. She's 6 feet tall. She's an inch shorter. She's probably as versatile or a little bit more versatile off the dribble. She really excels getting to the free throw line. She gets all the way to the rim. She's a good finisher, but both of them, I mean, embarrassment of riches is the exact terminology I use. So I totally agree with that.
All right, we've talked about 3 of the draft picks. The Liberty never had this many picks in one WNBA draft. Quickly, your thoughts on the other ladies, Jasmine, Kylie, and Leon.
Yeah, that group, they all provide something different. The thing that's a steady factor with all of them is their buy-in. And one of the things that we did, that our assistants, the staff, when they called all these players, they wanted to get a feel for them, and everybody had a different approach, asking different types of questions, and they all brought their genuine personalities to these interviews. And then when I came in from the interviews that the assistants told me about, I was able to kind of tailor mine according to whatever questions we had based on that pooled data. And so getting to talk to all these players, with a player like Megan, for instance, I really went straight with her and just said, listen, this is what you're going to need to do for us. If that's not a fit for you, then we get it. It's not a big deal. No hard feelings. But if you do buy into this, you could be phenomenal in this system and doing the things we need you to do. And she was all for it. And as we went through every single one of these players, they all said the same things. They're bought in. They understand that it's going to be a process for them to learn and grow. And they know that they're coming in as rookies. Nobody has expectations as to what they deserve and things like that. And that's essential for a rookie. I mean, it's absolutely essential, because when you have somebody coming in who's entitled and, thinks they deserve X, Y, and Z, and then they're upset in the background and things like that. I mean, this group, they all want to play for one another. Getting to Jazz and Kylie and Nay, the 3 of them are all really versatile. So if you look at Jazz, she's a phenomenal defender and athlete, and she shot a really good percentage from 3, just didn't shoot a ton of them, but a ball of energy. She's just amazing. Kylie is built for our system. She's 6'5", defensive player of the year, led the ACC in blocks, shoots 38% for her career from 3. She's perfect for what we want to do. And Nay is a player who literally can play any position as she continues to develop. Her athleticism is off the charts. And she's another just great person. So the way that we see them fitting in is her versatility is going to be huge for her as we need to plug different holes throughout the season, as things happen. She'll be there, and she's going to be able to do that kind of in that 11th or 12th player role.
Last thing for you, Coach. I know with you, things are still fresh. You were announced in early January, and you're all about making these connections. I'm sure you're chomping at the bit to get this group together. We had a WNBA virtual draft. Will you be doing some virtual coaching? How will you, establish player development at a distance right now?
Yeah, I mean, part of it's our online playbook. We've uploaded everything, and we have some really cool features on the site that allow us to quiz the players, and they can interact with it, in a more intimate way than they would have if they were just like looking at a diagram and memorizing, rote memory, all these plays. That's one way. And then we, as a staff, we actually have a call tomorrow to really, now that the draft is over, to lock in on some creative things that we can do with them that are, that aren't corny, that we want to really bring them together with things that they're adults, they're pro athletes. We're not gonna be doing, like rock climbing, team building stuff anytime soon. So yeah, we're gonna really just do our best to do something creative, but authentic and genuine, that really helps them.
The excitement continues to brew for this New York Liberty team. Coach, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.